I think there is a benchmark that we need all to follow, which is humanity. I don't think that any human being should be deprived of any rights because of culture or religion or tradition or whatever. And I want to warn that some dictators in the world are embracing this notion of intercultural dialogue just to make us to make other people understand why they have to oppress their own people using religion as a stuff. They want you to understand that there is a need to circumcise women or cover women or not allow women to drive cars, for example. And this is not about culture or religion or anything like that. They just mean to stay in power by trying to justify what they are doing to their own people, to the rest of the world. Now back to the opening that the internet has created, and I think I claim that the internet has given us back in Egypt a lot, especially the young generation that was prevented from a lot of stuff in Egypt, participation in the political field, in arts, in culture, in everything. We were always looked upon as inferior, having inferior education and knowledge, involved in drugs and violence and relationships and stuff like that. But ever since we started having the internet, and especially the blogs, the young people in Egypt have proven that they have more to offer. The blogs enabled young people to speak freely about their life, about the problems that they are facing. It's not only problems that has to do with drugs, because they have problems with education, with healthcare. They cannot get jobs when they are graduated. They cannot get married. They cannot have homes. They cannot afford living with the salaries of the people who employ them and use them. It's not only about problems and politics and stuff like that. It has provided Egypt with lots of talented people who shared their talents on the internet. We have people who produced music, rap and rock on the internet. We have people who produced short movies, drama or documentaries. We have people who drew cartoons and wrote articles and poetry and short stories and political commentary. We have even some blogs who are going to be turned into TV serials. We have brought up issues that were considered taboo before, and now they are a matter of discussion on the traditional media, and even the government had to open its eyes that it was turning towards these problems in the society. Our situation in Egypt is a bit difficult because most of Europe or the West think of Egypt as Sharm el Sheikh and this sunny country with the pyramids, and you can have a camel ride and stuff like that. And Mubarak is a good guy. He's a friend of the Americans, and he's a friend of Europe, and so he must be a nice guy, although he has been in power for 30 years and he's running the country with the emergency law. But the real condition is that we don't have real freedom of the press. We don't have real freedom to organize or to start NGOs or to do anything like that. The political parties that we have there are fake ones. They were all started by permissions from the government, not by the people themselves, the way that they are supposed to be. And the internet also created an opening for all these. For example, we were able to publish news that nobody dared to publish. We discussed issues that were considered taboo, like the president and his son, and who's going to come after him, torture in the police stations, issues like sexual harassment in the streets. All these issues were considered taboo before. And we had the cooperation of the traditional media because they were not able to ignore what we are publishing anymore, because it already stirred the public opinion into embracing these ideas and discussing them. Also, we were politically active on the internet in Egypt, and this some kind of sort of scandalized the political parties that we had at the moment, because they were not doing what they were supposed to do, and just few kids on the internet were able to organize demonstrations in thousands and sit-ins and to cover workers' strikes and to cover issues regarding the slums and the poor people and their problems in Egypt, which were supposed to be issues tackled by the political parties and movements in Egypt. Uh, Also, when it comes to the civil society, we had civil society maybe since the 70s, but they were not powerful because they didn't have a media arm. So blogs worked for some to some extent as an arm for these organizations and help them make their messages reach and help them campaigning for different issues. Um, we've been able to help, for example, people working on torture to bring up this issue of torture in prisons and in police stations to ordinary citizens, not necessarily to political activists only. Uh, we've been able to take this issue to the traditional media and to court and to send some officers to jail. We've been able to tackle the issue of the conditions of women who are being harassed in work or on the street or in transportation. And some NGOs now are presenting a draft law to the parliament to protect women from harassment in the streets. We now have political parties competing with the internet and with the blogs, including the ruling party, the National Democratic Party, which is now trying to present the heir to the president Gamal Mubarak as a tech savvy person, and now they have had like two video broadcasts online to show that Mubarak is an open guy that you can have dialogue with and you can ask them questions, and but all what I saw was like patronizing and stuff like that. So I claim that the internet was really helpful to us in creating this opening, but still we are suffering from harassment and suffering from crackdown on the bloggers in Egypt, like the journalists were suffering, and like the political activists and like the people working in the civil society also are suffering. So we need the solidarity and the attention of the rest of the world to help us achieve the goal of reaching a civil state that can be respectable and that can be home to the people who love it and want to stay in it and have proper life conditions. Thank you.